And before we get into the video, I just wanted to say this video is sponsored by my lovely Patreons. Names are up here. I love you all, and let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Torno1500, and today we're going to be talking about iOS 17. So iOS 17 was released alongside macOS Sonoma and watchOS 10 and the Vision Pro on June 6th of 2023, and it's currently June 27th of 2023. And I've been using it ever since the developer beta came out, right after WWDC. So I backed up everything to my computer over there and installed iOS 17 with the iOS 16.6 developer beta profile. And I was expecting to having to go back to iOS 16 after I've done reviewing iOS 17 for this video. But honestly, it's been more stable than the stable version of iOS 16. Before I get started with this, I just want to say that in no way am I endorsing installing beta software on your main device. Please do not do that. Even though I'm saying that it's more stable than the iOS 16 stable version, I don't want you guys to take the risk, but if you're going to take the risk, always keep a backup of your data. So I took the plunge and installed it on my main device, an iPhone XR. And I thought this was going to be very slow because it's now the least powerful device that can run iOS 17. With the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and iPhone 10, all with the A11 Bionic chip, discontinued and now stuck on iOS 16. And just to make a note, it's not like last year with iOS 16 where they unsupported the iPhone 6S, 6S Plus, SE, 7, and 7 Plus, where you'll actually want to get a newer device to get like unsend and edit messages. Basically just be considerate. Yeah, I don't see any reason to upgrade from an iPhone 8, 8 Plus, or 10 this year, just to get like a couple minor features. Yes, but now the iPhone XR is the lowest end iPhone compatible with iOS 17. And if I'm gonna be honest, iOS 17 on the iPhone XR is faster than iOS 16. But let's stop talking about how the older devices still perform well on iOS 17, and let's get into some actual iOS 17 features. Now, first of all, there has been some minor improvements that I'd like to talk about, such as when you press down in iOS 16, this was released, and it basically allowed you to switch your wallpaper on the fly and allowed you to store multiple wallpapers at once. But the problem was in iOS 16, it was very laggy. Even in the stable versions, it was like so laggy, it was unbearable. But now in iOS 17, they fixed the lag, and now it's smooth. Gotta go back to the iOS 17 wallpaper. And just to note that this wasn't just a problem with the iOS 16 on older devices like the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10. This was like with newer iPhones like the iPhone 13 and 14. The second feature to note is if we swipe up from the bottom and go to Safari, you'll now see that private browsing locks automatically, and you'll have to scan it with Face ID to get it open. Now let's check out some features that were brought up in the keynote. Apple also introduced call backgrounds, which is supposed to look something like this, which basically allows you to customize your call background so when you call people, it'll show up as what you want it to show up as. Live voicemail will allow your iPhone to send a call to voicemail and allow it to transcribe the voicemail for you so you can read it without actually going through your voicemail box. And I personally love this feature because I don't know about you, but I hate having to go to my mailbox because the carriers make it so clunky, and it's a waste of time, honestly. Like, I don't even bother checking my mailbox half the time, and this just allows you to transcribe it. FaceTime will basically allow you to create voicemails now, which I see this as a pretty good feature because I'm usually, sometimes not my phone, sometimes I don't even want to pick up FaceTime, so if I ever get a FaceTime and somebody just wants to send me something, it's easy to do that now. Now you can FaceTime from your Apple TV using your iPhone's camera, and this would have been a very useful feature if we had an Apple TV and during COVID, because during COVID, our whole family was split up during Christmas, so we had to do it through FaceTime, so that would have been a pretty useful feature back then. Now you can react with your hands basically, so that basically triggers a 3D augmented reality effect. If I'm gonna be honest, this is pretty lame and I'm probably never gonna use this. With messages, Apple finally did this. Apple finally put all your iMessage apps into a folder, which honestly, I've wanted this for like ever since iOS 11 came out, because they put it on top of your keyboard and it was like super inconvenient and stuff, and I hated that, but now it's in like a nice folder. And people said this looks a little goofy, but honestly, I love the look of this. But I also have to admit that it kind of looks like Facebook Messenger. But hey, it's better here than not. Check-in allows you to send a check-in message to one of your family members or friends, and it basically tells them automatically that you arrived home safely. And this is a great feature for like safety and stuff, but I see this if it gets hacked, somebody will know where you are and will know where you live and stuff, and it's kind of sketchy, but it's a good feature at the same time. I can't send it to the recipient because it's me. I didn't want to leak anybody else's messages, so I just did that. And if you don't make it home by the ETA and you know you won't make it home, you could just press the you'll be a little late on the lock screen and it'll send it to your family member or friend automatically. Cool feature, but to me it just sits with me wrong. Okay, so another feature of iMessage that I really like now is if you go into the iMessage app and somebody's spam texting you, you could go into the iMessage app and there will be a little button at the top of the screen which basically allows you, if pressed, to hold on, this is way too... Okay, there we go. To go to the top of where you last went on your phone and checked your phone, and it basically allows you to read everything that you missed. Alright. You can now filter your search in group chat, which is basically just like Discord's search function. Another feature I can't test out yet is you can view your friends' locations directly in the iMessage chat when shared. You can now view all your stickers in one place by going to the plus and then stickers, and it'll show all your stickers down here, kind of with the old overlay to your keyboard, but it's contained into here and it's a bit more clean in my opinion. You can now use your stickers in other apps such as Snapchat, seen here, and the Mail app, and I think this is the Journal app that's also being released, but I can't test at the moment for some reason. Standby is probably my favorite feature of iOS 17 because I love this feature. It's basically turns your iPhone to like an alarm clock beside your bed or something, yeah, that's basically what it does, and it looks really clean and it looks very good. My favorite one is is probably the one with like the maps and stuff, with the world map, and it tells you your location and the time in the corner. But I can't show that one right now because it also leaks my address. You can also view live activities in it as well. Like I have a random flight up on Flighty, the app called Flighty. It basically gives me an example of a live activity, so I'm just using this as an example. So I don't have to order food or something with Uber Eats or something. But this is probably my favorite feature of iOS 17. I gotta say. You could also use Siri while your phone is in this mode. Siri. Siri. That's another feature. You could just say Siri and it'll work. It's not working right now, but anyway. Siri, what's the weather in Cupertino, California? This is probably on the same level as Standby for me, but this is Name Drop, which basically allows you to get your crush's number just by tapping your phone with her phone, I guess, but my crush probably doesn't have iOS 17. Even if she liked me, she probably doesn't. And yeah, I don't think I'll be able to test this until it actually comes out. It's also the same deal with AirDrop. Now you can just tap your phone with somebody else's phone and it'll start initiating the transfer. I can't wait to test out that feature, and I can also not wait to test this feature as well. where AirDrop continues to transfer even if you step away from the person over the internet. I can't wait for this feature. I can't wait for any of the AirDrop features, to be honest. But initiating SharePlay with tapping devices seems a little redundant to me because you're gonna be probably like in another house, or you're probably gonna be FaceTiming your friend when you're SharePlaying. So I don't see any reason to have this. I also can't test this out until later this year. But this is the journal app, and it's basically a way to just like journal your stuff down. It's basically like a personal journal. It also has a lock, like a personal journal, with Apple's known privacy. And it's basically just a journal, and it's honestly quite boring to me, but it seems kind of fun. I might try it later this year and tell you guys about it. Another feature is that you can press the space bar and it'll finish off your sentences, basically like another form of autocorrect, but you can be a little bit more sure of it. Although I can see this being a little bit of an annoyance because, of course, it's autocorrect. It's gonna be fucking annoying. You can now section off your passwords for home, school, and like other stuff like that. I probably will never see myself using this because I don't use the same device for like school and for home. Like I only have one password for school and I can memorize it, and if I need to use it on like a home computer or something. And this just seems like kind of a redundant feature. You can now get game scores and other stuff, other quick information in a snap with Safari's search recommendations. I haven't used this yet because I use another browser on my iPhone, but and I don't know what to search for, so I guess do with that as you will. Another useful feature is autofill verification codes in mail. I can see this being useful to other people, but then again, I use a third-party mail app, so it probably wouldn't work. You can also now share passwords and passkeys with trusted contacts. I haven't ended up using this yet, but you might. I don't know. I don't share my passwords. I don't trust anybody. Or at least I don't trust anybody that much. You can now use AirPlay in your hotel room with a QR code in the room, which I think will be a very useful feature, and I can't wait to go traveling next year because many hotels will have this, and I might end up at a hotel with it. There's a new feature for AirPods Pro where you will be able to blend transparency and active noise cancellation to tailor the noise control experience to you throughout the day. But I can't really try that feature out because the only AirPods I have are regular AirPods. You can now use a feature on Apple Maps that Google Maps has had for years. I would show you guys, but I tried it on launch day, and you have to stay in the app for it to actually work. And my screen kept closing out, and the download kept canceling. So yeah. You can now use back-to-back requests on Siri. Also, just say Siri, which I brought up a little while ago, but it didn't work. Siri! Okay, now it works. You can now open apps by just typing them in, and it'll open the top hit. Apple now has its own Google Lens ripoff. Where you can look it up just by I don't know how to use that, but I'll figure it out. iOS 17 can now censor sensitive photos automatically, so if somebody drops you a noodle pic, it'll block you from seeing it. And there's a bunch of other features, but they're not really notable enough for me to include them in the video and actually go through them and read them out. So I'll just leave it to you to check those out if you want to. Anyway, those are all the features that I'm excited for in iOS 17, and I hope you're excited for them too, because there's some great features. I mean, they're not like game-breaking features by any means, but they're like quality of life improvements and stuff. Anyway, tell me in the comment section below what's your favorite feature of iOS 17, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!